We are live on YouTube. Let me put my YouTube chat on. I got my first win on the funded account today. Love it, love it, love it. We'll go over it in a second. It's not going to do that at all. Let me just go on Twitter actually. Okay, yeah, so I got my first win on my funded account today. I sold early. I put a trailing stop, which is one of my rules, to not use a fucking trailing stop. So I'm really mad at myself about it. I let other people on TikTok, get in my head while they were live trading. But this was the execution. This is my live execution on Ninja Trader. And we'll go over the trade right now. So basically what I did today was we had a lovely power of 3, accumulation, manipulation to the downside, distribution. With SMT, ES took out this low here. NQ did not, but NQ we bounced off this 4-hour fair value gap. Beautifully, a beautiful trade. I got an inverse fair value gap on the 3-minute. And then I let a few people was getting back into sales at this point, and then I put a trailing stop, and this candle kind of scared me. But my original take profit was here, and I labeled both because obviously I trade with one contract, so I probably wouldn't have held to this. But now that I'm looking back on the 1-hour chart, I'm like, that's definitely where we were going. We were going back up into this fair value gap, and then we got SMT again. If you wanted that PM little retracement there, I know Luke wanted that sell since he's trading on a 1-minute chart, so it's probably like a 1-minute reversal to the liquidity of the hour candle, which is a decent trade. But for me, I like the big trade of the day, per usual. If I would have got in right at 10 o'clock, I would have had a nice, a better entry than I had, but I sold early. But if I just sat on the 1 hour, I could have had it at the PM high, which was the tap into the fair value gap that caused that reversal, that little reversal back. But it's okay, still a great trade. My first win on my funded account, so we're gonna count it. I mean, it's real. It got my drawdown down, so which is good. But I am mad at myself for that. So my new rules now too are just not getting on social media while I trade, putting on a show, putting on a podcast, Words of Wisdom, beginner-friendly podcast, all them podcasts that are so dope. But yeah, same shit happens. So let's see how we react off this fair value gap overnight, and in the morning we'll see what we get. But yeah, that was a great trade. If you see accumulation, manipulation, distribution, SMT, that's all you need. There was a nice 930 trade too, actually. The SMT here, we swept the high on NQ, we did not on ES, and that was the trade down on both. These two candles, the trade down. NQ tapped right into fair value gap. What time is it for you? For me, it's 6 p.m. in Mexico, but yeah, so this was a trade. So 930 has been cooking. That's why I backtested it yesterday. I kind of want to backtest something random today though, just to see. Like obviously SMT is the shit. As you see here, we got this 930 reversal. I'm sorry, the macros 945. This is when I get on the chart anyway, like 940. What stock should I buy tomorrow? I only trade the NASDAQ. You mean buy for like long-term holding? This is a trading live. You can DM me about stocks, but I'm not going to talk about them on here because it's a lot to talk about, kind of. But yeah, we got this SMT here. We didn't sweep the low on ES. We swept it on NQ, and then we reversed. And then you got SMT again here for a little pull down, and then obviously they're both starting to go back up. So that's really all you need. I'm trying to see, maybe we back test 9:30 and 10 o'clock on the 1-minute chart, just for those people who trade it if you want it. Going to DM you, yeah, just DM me for stocks. I only invest in like ETFs though, and like obviously the NASDAQ and the S&P 500, but like group stocks like that, I don't really believe in any company enough to buy the stock straight out. Besides like Crocs. I used to work for Crocs and they've been killing it. It's kind of late though. Not late, but they've been bringing out like so many new collabs. Like Crocs is like very popular now, but and like Chipotle, you know, I'm a Chipotle fucking crackhead, but like I really don't like buying stocks flat out. I like buying funds with a bunch of stocks in them, just for safety, in my opinion. But I'll send you a list. I'll send you a few. The full list will be in my Discord when it drops, but I'll send you a few. Okay. Let's see if we could really just trade this shit on the 1 minute. I actually already hate this. Actually, no, I cannot. Let's just do regular shit. The regular shit you're supposed to do every day. We're going to continue that. Also, I'm not backtesting till Monday after this. I'm going to a wedding. My flight is tomorrow night. The rehearsal dinner is Friday night. And then I think the wedding is going to be Saturday night. And then my flight is at 4 on Sunday. So I don't know if I'll be home in time to go on live with y'all. So I won't go on live again until Monday. Wait. Are you trading options or futures? Futures. Hi, by the way, I'm new. Hey, Charity. Yeah, I trade futures. I used to trade options, though. I like trading options. Do you think NAS will go up? Now, that's a question I will ask now. Number one, for you to be a good trader, in my opinion, not even. People are good traders who predict. Be reactionary. I don't care if it goes up or if it goes down. I want to get on the chart at 10 a.m. like I did here and see what we have to analyze. That's how I trade. I don't care because we have London and we have Asian. We're in Asian right now. We have London. In my opinion, though, we did already come into this gap on NQ, so we should be going lower. But we can look on the 4 hour if you really want to see. Yeah, we tightened this 4 hour gap today. We're definitely going lower, in my opinion. But maybe by the time I get up in the morning, it already went lower in Asian, and then in New York session, we'll go up. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I don't like to guess, because I used to do these recaps every night for content, and then with my emotions as a beginner, I would look for that move, like, oh, we're going down. And then by the time I got on the chart, the move I called already happened, and then I would just trade bad the rest of the day because I could not just fathom that I called it and I didn't get to trade it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really do that anymore. I just get on the chart at 10 o'clock or like 9:40, and whatever I have to analyze in that moment, I do, and then we go from there. But yeah, it looks like we're probably going down, but again, that can happen in like while we're asleep, or if you're up. If you trade London 2 to 5 a.m., that could be your thing. Hopefully we get another power of 3. I hope we trade sideways, and then we sweep this liquidity into this gap, and then we go lower at 9 o'clock tomorrow. That would be the beautiful price action. And that's why we backtest. That's why we're going to do, we do it on this backtesting session. Sorry, I haven't read the chat. How you feel about prop firms as a new trader just getting started? Personally, okay, great question. So I was very anti-prop firm. Because I like live accounts. I think a lot of them are scammy. A lot of the futures ones are good. Everyone says they have not gotten denied payouts. Apex has had some payout problems, but most of them don't. But then I realized, because the options you to trade your own money, so it kind of helps to trade both. Like I incorporate both, because with my prop firm, it's kind of like paper trading, but you might get a reward at the end. So it's better than just paper trading. So you can, like, if I'm trading really shitty, I'll go to my funded account, and then I can get a payout, you know what I'm saying? Or I can pass it, versus like if I'm trading shitty, I have to just paper trade or take a break on my options account if you don't want to spend that money. So it kind of gives you a buffer. You're still obviously trading and you have to pay for funded accounts, but I like that. And I always copy trade them with my live account, so I'm not like, once I'm funded, I'm not begging for payouts. I have a live account I can take money from whenever I want, and then I can just focus on taking good trades. So I use it to balance my emotions. Sometimes I'm still emotional, but it kind of helps me do that. Like if I'm trading, I copy trade both, and then if I'm trading badly, I just go to the funded, and if I feel confident again, I go back to both. And if I'm feeling really bad, I paper trade. Broker, I use Ninja Trader, and I copy trade I have a copy trader on Ninja Trader. Alrighty, so it is 9. We'll just mark out 10 o'clock because we can't mark 9:30. We have a little SMT. We have ES taking out these London highs beautifully. And ES did not. So it's good signs of reversal, but again, let this play out because NQ already dumped, but this one hasn't dumped enough for me to be like, ooh, shorts. But let's see if it dumps. Liquidity targets are always, the first target. It's really where I take my profit at. I don't take anything that goes really, really far. Let's see. But yeah, so prop firms, use them wisely. I think Forex ones are very scammy, but the futures ones are way better. They do charge you monthly, so that sucks. And then obviously, use them as you see fit. Oh, boom, called it. See, S&T, I swear to y'all, is all you need. And then you got S&T again. And this is why some people don't use hard stop losses. Obviously this is just 9:30. You know what I'm saying? Probably if we zoom in on a lower time frame, 9:30 liquidity sweep of this high. So that's your S&T. We took out this high, and then on ES we did not, almost, but we did not. By like a tick. This is what you want in the morning. But if you had a stop loss, like say you got in early, confident in that trade, this is an hour chart, so I don't think you would. But if you were already in sales, like right here, you would have got stopped out and then it went your way. So I see why some people don't use hard stop losses anymore. Because S&T, of course, you're welcome. But S&T, beautiful. This is all you trade. It's helped me be more confident in my trades. Now holding them is the problem sometimes. However, if you sit in a higher time frame, that's how you hold them. I know 1 minute traders, they probably took their trade just to here, or there's some liquidity somewhere. But on the 1 hour, where are we going? Here. Like there's no other swing low but to here. And it lines up with the fair value gap on ES. And that's your trade. Let's go on the 3 minute and see what the entry looked like. And this is why I don't get in at 9:30 anymore. I get in at 9:40. 9:30 actually wound up going down for a liquidity sweep of these equal lows. But there are days like lately, 9:30 trade today was a decent trade, but it still wasn't bigger. But like yesterday, was it, when 9:30 just ran down? Like we've got some days where 9:30 has been the move of the day. But usually the 10 o'clock, the 9:40 trade is the trade of the day. And this is the prime example. Now, if you took this 9:30 trade, that's still a good move. You got liquidity sweep reversal to this high. There's not really an entry for you, so you have to turtle soup that. There's no market structure shift until like up here. So you either have to just get in this trade maybe at this candle close and take it to that high. I wouldn't take that. But it's a decent liquidity sweep to liquidity move. Probably on the 1 minute, you probably get an inverse fair value gap in here, because that's how all the 1 minute traders, like Dodgy's DG, he loves these moves. But again, I've said that multiple times. I prefer the big move of the day because as a beginner, I only trade 1 micro. This is fine, but I rather trade less with less risk and catch the big trade of the day, which you can. I do it all the time. Versus these. And a lot of people join my chat and they take these, which, let's see, on the 1 minute, I'm sure it's a valid trade. I used to trade like that. Honestly, you don't even get one either. No inverse fair value gap, and then your market structure shift is still here, like I called. It actually might be better than your 3 minute entry though. It's still this candle close, which I just had. Yeah, it's not that great. It's not that great. But Dodgies would just have a stop loss like this, so it is a great trade, you know what I'm saying? And it had no drawdown. Like this, it hit take profit before it came back down. So, but for me, I like the big trade. I like the big trade. Thoughts on oil? I don't trade oil. I only trade indices. Sorry. I like the big trade, which we got from this S&T beautifully. And then you do get inverse value gap. You do get a market structure shift that played out beautifully. You got a change in the state of delivery, a fair value gap right here. We didn't get an inverse one, sadly. I prefer those. You do get an inverse one down here, but your entry wouldn't be till way down here. So yeah, which is kind of the same entry as me waiting for this candle to close out of it. So maybe that would have been my entry, which is not the best. But take it to this hourly low for 1 to 2, which is what I like. Anything above a 1 to 2, 1 to 2.5. Now, if I obviously got in here, we have a 1 to 4. That's what you want. That's all you need. And that's not even being greedy. If you sell a 1 hour, I'm sure you could take this to any one of these. Maybe, see, that's why I say you always just zoom out on the lower time frame. There's a take profit here. Every swing high and swing low is a liquidity point. It's not, these aren't major ones. Obviously, the major ones are the ones you saw on the 1 hour, like this one. But still, mark a few if you want them. I do that all the time. I usually mark out 3 and then take it in the middle one. So I probably would have took my trade there, especially if I got in later actually, which I probably would have gotten in on this candle close here. So yeah, I would have had to let my shit run a little bit. But yeah, that's why I traded, like I said, 9:40 around 10 o'clock. And even if you get in at 10 o'clock, it still got you a better entry than if you just, because it tapped you back in this fair value gap beautifully. So that's really all y'all need for real. SMT, especially because, like I said, if you feel like you're missing this 9:30 trade, you'll just zoom out and you'll be like, oh, we have SMT, or just wait for SMT. Obviously, yesterday we kept running the fuck down. We didn't get it, but we did get an SMT to continue in the trade that I missed yesterday. That pissed me off, but it was on the 15-minute chart. I'll show you. It was 10 o'clock here. So obviously I missed the 9:30 trade because I don't get on at 9:30. And then at this 15-minute mark, ES tapped into this fair value gap. If you can see that. And NQ did not. So that's the SMT. It took out this high on ES. It didn't on NQ. And if you go down the 3-minute on both charts, it tapped into a fair value gap for a perfect entry. And it was just because 10 a.m. news, we had news at 10, and that's my entry time usually, so I was a little scared to trade news, but it tapped me in, and I could have took it down, and I didn't, and I'm mad at myself. But also, I'm proud of myself for not taking a losing trade either. I'd rather not trade at all than take a losing trade, and I usually take a trade every day. I just am eager to trade. It's bad, but I'm usually smart about it, but it's still bad to take a trade, but I didn't. So continue, like I said, it will really help you. It's same with like that, like I know continuation plays are scary for people, but you saw how we got like an SMT on the 15-minute chart to confirm that to get in to continue going lower. That's the best part about it. Alrighty. Whoa, holiday. We're below both of these, way below both of those. This place. Alright, so it looks like NQ is further down. That is this on ES, very far. So it's giving, we might sweep here before. ES is going to come down lower, probably into, I'm trying to see if there's another gap. The only gap is this one, and we're already about in it, but maybe it'll just continue a little bit past the gap and then reverse back to the upside, but we'll see. Let's mark out 10 o'clock and go from there. But yeah, sorry I have to take 3 days off from, or 4 days off from backtesting, traveling for a wedding, but it's what I gotta do. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Now, 10 o'clock, we're pushing up. I feel confident in this, but we're not so bearish. But SMT, we didn't go as low as here. We did on NQ. They're starting to reverse. Now, I just don't know. I'm not confident in this, but maybe let's see if it goes up to here. That's still a good trade. Again, this is the hour chart. So you would see, or you just go down to 3-minute and wait for your change in the state delivery, and that will give you, see, like that. I wasn't confident. I just feel like we're so bearish. We're so bearish that I was just not confident in buys off that. However, we got SMT again. NQ did not sweep the high of this candle. ES did. And that's why that's why I get on the chart, because obviously we're zoomed out. There will be an SMT. Sometimes it looks like there's there obviously is SMT. We're going to probably get SMT reversal back up, I think, before ES hits this. However, who knows? 10 o'clock, my favorite time to trade, because usually 9 o'clock will show me where we want to go. We got S&T, getting some sales. Where will we take you to on NQ? Jeez, I mean, ES probably, okay, if this is our only target on NQ, ES is probably going to go that far. These are all far-ass targets I don't like. I don't like when my targets are like, oh, it's not that bad. It's not terrible. Let's see how far they go. Maybe not far at all. Maybe they do in a reverse from here. Boom, TP1 hit. Okay, that's already 2 p.m. I'm off the chart anyway. 1 o'clock. So that's a long trade. But sales almost stopped you out. Not great price action, but again, this is the 1 hour chart, so it probably I got funded on days like this where it just wants to trade up in your stop loss. Yeah, something like this would have been the trade, which really sucks. If you got in right at 10 being eager, this is your trade, which isn't the best. Almost a 1 to 5. But it traded in your drawdown for a good bit. If you waited for a better setup, what would that setup look like? Wait for it to come back into this gap maybe, and then get the candle close out of it is a way better setup. But depending, I know me, I'm always trigger happy, so I probably got a shittier entry way down here. I had a big stop loss and had to hold it, which is my thing. But that is a better trade. It took almost all day, right before 2 o'clock. But you got it, or you could have sold here once it started pulling back on you. I know myself, I'd be impatient, so I probably would sell on this pullback a little bit. But who knows? Maybe you hold it, maybe you set and forget and just put on a show. But yeah, that's that S&T for you. See, this was a day where 9:30 led the day. See, there's some days like that. That's why I'm like, sometimes I want to get on it, because then you could at least catch, you know. Let's see if there's S&T. Because that rundown yesterday at 9:30 was no S&T. So if there's no S&T, I still wouldn't take it if it's at 9:30. Okay, am I tripping? 9:30. These don't even look the same. This is why I stopped trading ES. This is 9:30. But look at this 9:30 candle. That's a nice move. Say you traded this one candle on NQ. That's a nice move down. But ES, what is that? So yeah, I wouldn't know how to read this at 9:30 because ES looks crazy. NQ, I would love for ES to look like this. So yeah, that's your S&T. ES took out this high. NQ did not. They look terrible, but that was it. But then ES ran down better afterwards though. But you know, that's what it is. If you just incorporate S&T in your strategy, it just adds that extra confluence, and it just rarely fails. I've never seen S&T just like fail. Now you have to wait a little bit for it plays out. So you want to see it play out. Like you want to see the higher high made, and then you want to start seeing them both push. That's what you want to see. And obviously you want to see it line up like a fair value gap, a liquidity point. Like this one, it took out this liquidity. You want to see like a liquidity sweep too. It took extra confirm. A fair value gap, boom, now we're reversing. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes, like I said, NQ would just be ahead or ES would be ahead, and then they both will wind up like following each other and running up or down more. So wait for the actual reversal off of it. And then that's really it, you know what I'm saying? And it's really that simple. Yeah, not much trading, a little sideways on this day. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next New York session. Then we reverse back up. All right, so we already have ES ahead now. ES took the high, and that same high on NQ is up here, and NQ is not that far, so maybe NQ will hit it, and then it'll be S&T at not at this one. Maybe S&T at one of these. Because if that's another thing too, like say NQ moves a lot, so this is a normal size move for NQ, so that's why I was like it could be S&T, but it could not. Well, we already swept actually both of these, so yeah, it's giving NQ's gonna sweep this first one and might not sweep the second one. ES has already swept the second one, so that might be the S&T. Let's mark 10 o'clock because that's when the biggest moves of the day usually happen, or after. Alrighty, I don't know if we're going down off this. That is S&T, but I feel like it might want to go higher, but maybe that is the S&T reversal. Not quite, like I had a feeling. Okay, they're both going higher. See, it's like that's a normal move for NQ. Liquidity sweep. Now can we get our S&T reversal? Can you see what that looks like? They're both not pushing down enough for me yet. And that's the end of the day anyway. Hold on. Yes, end of the day. Well, so today it was a continuation up. Like I said, this is a nice move for NQ, so I guess that's what the trade of the day was. And you probably would have waited and maybe got in on this candle, you know, up here somewhere at, I mean, this is 12, 1, 2, absolutely not. I would have took a trade today. Absolutely not. Let's look on a 3-minute, even on the ES. What does that look like? Alrighty. This is not a terrible sell trade. And then at 11, yeah, you probably would have. Let's look on the 15-minute. I don't go on the 3-minute until like way after, because you gotta go on the higher time frames. They'll show you something. I mean, that's a nice move down the 15-minute. If you wanted it, but obviously there's a bunch of gaps in here, so maybe you waited for that. I'm trying to see though, because watching ES, I don't know if I would have gotten that sell trade. It's nice move. That's why I say NQ just moves better. Like that's still a nice. I mean, this is the hourly chart. Let me go down to the. Forgetting it's the hourly chart. So yeah, it's really smaller on ES, but that's a decent move. But I just feel like on the hour, I wasn't confident in that pullback. So I don't know what I would have entered in. Maybe off of this entry. Everybody came back in, touched it, and then we ran till 3. So yeah, I mean, I'll get in the trade before 12 is my goal, or before 1. This is at 12:45, and this is at 10:45. So maybe I would have caught this. Maybe I would have took this trade down. I can't really assess that I would take a trade today, and it might not be that. Yeah, I only take trades if it's clear, but I just know myself. I'm very trigger happy. Like if I see a good setup, I'm taking that shit and not waiting for this bigger move. Like if some people will wait, have the patience to wait. But for me, if I see a good setup, there's no inverse for value gaps, but we do have change in the state and delivery here or here. But no, the candle that closes after it is way down here. The fair value gap to finally inverse it is literally down here. And liquidity is right there, so I don't think I'd take that. But as I said, I can't say. Because once I'm on the charts, I'm eager beaver. Because what, yeah, you'd have to get in. Your most for sure entry is here. Yeah, I don't know if I'd take that. If this candle was smaller and closed like right here, that'd be a better trade. But maybe you would have took it. I don't know if we have any like, yeah, like we didn't sweep any liquidity or nothing. We might have like a fair value gap in here from like, you know, from the past. Yeah, there's a fair value gap right here to bounce off of. But for me, I'm like, I would have been shook. And or I would have wanted it to go all the way down here and I would have been pissed. But maybe I would have taken off of this. This is a good trade, the up trade. It's longer, but I only take one trade a day too, so that's what I'm saying. I don't know if I would. And I would take it to this liquidity. That's a good trade. It took 1 billion hours. Till 1:30. That's not bad. 30 minutes after I'd usually be on the chart anyway. That's not bad. But I would see. But this is what you should do. Don't always just get on here and backtest and place orders. Like, actually look at the market. Look at what times you get on. If you get on 9:30, look at 9:30. If you get on at 10, look at 10. Look at how price action move. Look at things. Like, people always, well, not anymore, but when I first started backtesting, people like try to troll and be like, why aren't you setting the orders? Because if you just come on here and set orders as shitty as you do on the charts in the morning, you're not going to improve. I've seen people do that. I watch their backtesting, and it's honestly very hard to watch. People just lose, replay, lose. Like, no, like stop and think. Because this is the tool to do that. You can't stop and think in the chart in real time. You can't stop and think right now while we're in Asian session. You either have to do or you don't. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like you need to take advantage of backtesting. And then obviously, yes, you can place orders and stuff when you're ready. But for me, I like to like study. Like, would I have taken this trade? Probably not. The trade of the day was this. Would I have waited for this? Probably not, because I know myself. This is a nice big move. I just feel like I would have been like, I mean, if I didn't take this trade, I definitely would have gotten this trade, but I just feel like this big of a move, I might have tried to like get into it, but you know, you just mark it up. And you see, I do mark certain trades that I'm confident we would take, but there's other days where you just have to wait and see. But yeah, 15, this is a whole hour almost, and then we finally push. But this is a 15-minute fair value gap. We got a little internal liquidity sweep on the 3-minute. Then that was your trade off this candle out of the fair value gap. And that's why I say I trade the 15 minutes sometimes, because you can catch a trade on the 15-minute chart sometimes, and it's great. Better entry than you got on the 3-minute, honestly. That candle closed right on the 15-minute. Stop loss below the candle before it. 1 to 3. We have better risk reward than we had on the 3-minute. But yeah, that's it, y'all. SMT. Let me write it on the screen for y'all. I try to wait for a higher. What is that? A higher time frame. POI, which is point of interest, usually a fair value gap. It could be a breaker, but I don't like them that often. It's usually an order block, fair value gap, 90% of the time a fair value gap. Then SMT. So one of the places ES is higher or NQ is higher, you know what I'm saying? And then 3, my entry model. Or a reaction just off of a gap. That's really my entry model now anyway, basically. I usually wait for the candle close out of the gap on either side. And if I'm not confident, like say we did close below this fair value gap here, which happens sometimes, and then it goes your way, I would be, yeah, no candle close. Sometimes you would get one and then it will go. So I usually wait a little more. And then on that case, this is the 15-minute chart, if it starts to push lower and invert it, you have to go to the 3-minute at that point, because 15 minutes is a long time. It could easily come down here in those 15 minutes. So you just do that accordingly, and practice this, backtest it, sit and watch. And that's the good thing too about SMT. Say you miss a move, like today, that 9:30 move that was so beautiful. If you can see it, we came up to this fair value gap and we went down. But then I realized that was SMT for the reversal. So if you know what SMT is, and ES, you know, one of them make a lower low, one of them makes a higher low. We swept this low on ES. On NQ, that same low is here. We did not sweep it, and it lined up beautifully on NQ with a 4-hour fair value gap. Let me show y'all. Jeez Louise. It lined up beautifully with, my trading view takes me so far back. Like, don't piss me off. Yeah, it lined up beautifully with this fair value gap right here. this little skinny mini. That was the fair value gap. As soon as we reacted off of it beautifully, you could took a trade off the 4-hour chart, honestly. Because again, 10 a.m., biggest candle of the day. I obviously got in because I was already on the chart. I got in before 10, but if you got in at 10, my entry at 10 would have been better than the entry I got. I got in late, and then it pulled back a little bit at 10 o'clock, and then it finally pushed. And that could have been your trade right there. Stop loss was a little big, can't lie. The stop loss was a little big, but it was a valid trade. Look for a higher time frame, point of interest, and then wait for it, and then, you know, SMT is the way for me. If you need me to show it for you, it's this. We made a lower low, and then we made a higher low on NQ, popped out of a gap, boom. They both just started to reverse, and then you got in on this inversion here, so it's pretty high, a big stop loss, and then you just take it up. And that's it, you know what I'm saying? So I will see y'all on Monday. I will post a trade recap on TikTok, obviously. Tomorrow, I'm trading tomorrow, but I'm not trading Friday. And then, yeah. Have a good trading day week, the rest of the week. Do we have news tomorrow? I think we do have news tomorrow. 8:30 and then 10. Oh, I hate 10 a.m. news. Y'all know that's my sweet spot for trading. So we'll see how I do tomorrow. I probably won't even take a trade till 10 o'clock at that point, unless I catch something at 9:30. But it's looking like wait till 10, unless it's super obvious. Sometimes it is very obvious. But yeah, I'll see y'all on Monday for the backtesting sessions, and hopefully y'all have good trades tomorrow.